episode of Just So You Know Moment with a Twist. We have the talented, the beautiful, the multifaceted Miss Michelle Speak.
Just So You Know Moments with a Twist. Your host, Dr. Jackson Dean, the Pen Slayer. You ready? Let's go. Just so you know, moments with a twist. Oh, talk show host, speaker, life and success strategist, author. Oh yeah. I inspire, empower, and coach others to be the best version of themselves. Just so you know, moments with a twist. Are you ready?
Some people don't believe in mental illness, especially those that are in the house, that are in the household of faith. But, nevertheless, just because you don't believe it's there, it doesn't exist, doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And so, have an annual event that I used to do after I prayed Now What, where we address that very thing, mental illness and being a man or a woman of faith. And so I just think it's something that we just need to talk about, so that people don't have to suffer in silence, and so that they can end the stigma, so they can get the help that they need. And that's my tagline, Michelle Speaks. If you hide it, you can't heal it. We can't heal what we won't address.
So we got to book 2. Let's move on to book 3. Tell us about book 3.
Book 3 was a part of a group project, and I'm very much an advocate for mental health. I've been an advocate for about 5 years on a international platform because of my own challenges, because of the experiences I had growing up and in the military. And so mental health is very important to me, to minimize or destigmatize the stigma that's associated with mental health. And so I was a part of a project where we were highlighting veterans, because I'm a Navy veteran. And the book is called The Voices Behind Mental Illness, The Life of a Veteran, Series 5, because it's a series. And so I was a part of that book project, myself and 10 other veterans, where we were just highlighting what it was like living with mental illness, being diagnosed, and what our life looked like after, and how we've adapted and been able to incorporate and still live the abundant life that God has, called us to, in spite of having that label. And I really hate labels,
Yes.
because anybody that's encountered any kind of traumatic event, or if you're predisposed to it, if it runs in your family, that doesn't mean you're going to have it.
Right.
But we've all had an encounter that's caused us to have some challenges with the state of our mental health. And so in that book, we just highlight, how we live with it, how we move beyond it, how we're still managing and mastering it, and still living a great quality of life.
That's wonderful.
So that's how to minimize or eliminate the shame that's associated with it. There was many years that after I was diagnosed that, I wouldn't talk about it. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to go to that part of the hospital labeled mental health because I didn't want to be judged. A lot of my family members didn't know until years after I was diagnosed. And now, that's part of my platform to eliminate that stigma, because if you hide it, you can't heal it. That's my tagline, Michelle Speaks. We can't heal what we won't address.
Wow, that's
We just
wonderful.
have to be ready. So, and he's been battling for years. And so we have to create an environment where it's okay to talk about mental health and the status of our mental health.
You
Because everybody's encountered it, or we know someone, or we have a friend or a loved one that they may never disclose because of that shame.
Hmm.
And we got to eliminate that.
You're absolutely right about that. And I completely can resonate with what you're saying about being shamed. I remember when I first started seeing my psychiatrist, how embarrassed I was to go to the mental health area. But it
Mm-hmm.
was so needed. It was
Mm-hmm.
so needed. And I'm glad that I did because,
Yeah.
suffering with PTSD, which I do suffer from PTSD from the military, I was going through a lot of challenges, nightmares, night sweats,
Mm-hmm.
sleepwalking, depression, anxiety, everything. You name
Right.
it. I was
Right.
dealing with it. And it was not until I was able to find a good psychiatrist that I was able to see on a regular basis, and also with the journaling, also with the taking my thoughts and putting them down on paper, and also with the writing books, and just all these different things that I use. Like I said, it's a cathartic
Right.
experience that I use in order to heal myself, and I'm still healing. And so
Well, you know
I believe it's something that you continue to grow through, not
what?
go through, but grow through.
You know, this is one of my staple sayings. Healing is a journey, it is not a destination.
Absolutely.
And there's a famous book out there, The Body Keeps Score. The body holds trauma. So we
Mhm.
have wounds within our soul that have to be addressed, that have to be healed, so that we can, continue to live the abundant life that God, said that we could have. And so mental illness, it should be normalized, because if you've encountered any kind of traumatic event, if you've witnessed a traumatic event, if you're predisposed to it because it runs in your family, there's going to be something, an episode in your life where you're going to have a challenge with your mental health. And if we normalize talking about it, then you can get the resources that you need without trying to go it alone or tough it out. Or, one of the things in my family was put on your big girl panties, suck it up and keep it moving. So that's what I learned to do. But
Mhm.
I was damaging myself and the relationships that were important to me in the process, until I finally hit, that proverbial rubber meets the road moment.
Mhm.
And I was like, I can't will my way through. I can't push my way through. I can't
Mhm.
see my way through. I need help. And that started a trajectory of change, even within my family. I'm not ashamed to admit anymore, I'm going to have a therapist for the rest of my life.
Right.
Just like they say, every coach needs a coach.
Mhm.
I'm sure
Absolutely.
the therapist or the psychologist have their own therapy.
Yes.
So I believe after 5 failed suicide attempts and 5 mental health diagnoses that I'm doing pretty darn good right about now. But what if I hadn't gotten the help?
Yeah.
There's no telling what state I'd be in.
You're absolutely right, and you are doing great. You're absolutely right. You are doing great. You're doing wonderful, as Michelle speaks. And like I was saying, with normalizing and going to get therapy, normalizing talking about it, normalizing being okay with not being okay sometimes.
Mhm.
And see, that's the big thing right there. We are all in a position where we, like you said, putting on masks, having to wear these masks. We have so many roles, we got so many things going on in our lives. And so it's almost to the point where you don't have a chance to break down if you need to break down.
Mhm.
And you feel like if you do stop, you're going to miss something. And so you have to give yourself the grace that you need in order to be the best version of yourself. I,
Exactly. At
I
some point, you got to slow down, because what are you really missing?
yeah.
What have you missed already by not dealing with the things that you need to deal with?
Mhm. Mhm.
So it's all a part of the journey. Healing is a journey. It's not a destination.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. So tell us about this fourth book that you have. You have four books, right?
Yes. So
Okay.
the fourth book, it's entitled "When Courtship Goes Wrong: The
Mm.
Behind the Scenes of Dating and Ministry." Totally different from all of my other books. But I thought it was necessary, and it's something that I feel needs to be addressed within Christendom.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it just goes into about an experience that I had. It was my first experience dating someone in leadership in ministry, and I didn't know. I don't know what the protocols are, and what the do's and the don'ts are. So I just kind of went along with the program, but ended up being that it was a pattern with this pastor, that dated women in the church, and I had an issue with that. But rather than expose it in that way, I just shed light on some of the things that go on behind the scenes of dating and ministry. And it is not a book about bashing, pastors and leaders, but it's a book about gaining understanding, and allowing grace, and but still bringing enlightenment to things that need to be addressed within the church.
Well, that sounds interesting and juicy.
Yeah, it's a little bit of I changed the names to protect the innocent and the guilty.
The names and locations have been changed to protect the innocent.
Exactly. Yes. So
I
I've got
love
a now. Yeah. I've got another one in the works. It's called From Pain to Passion to Purpose to Power.
Oh wow, that's wonderful. That's,
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that. Well, we actually have something in common with that. That's what my next book is about. The exact
Really?
same thing. So, good for you. Good for you. Good for us. So,
You gotta expose it. If you hide it, you can't heal it, right?
that's right. That's right.
And we definitely need some healing within Christendom. I'm probably gonna step on some toes with that statement, but so be it. Do I offend you if I tell you the truth?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
that's
if
right.
I do be offended, be offended.
Be offended. Be offended.
Someday my prince will come. Someday we'll meet again to be happy forever. I know a dream when your festa will come. Someday we'll meet again to be happy forever. I know a dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. No matter how your heart is grieving, if you keep on believing, the wish that you make will come true. No matter how your heart is grieving, if you keep on believing, the wish that you make will come true.
So, Michelle Speakz. So, you have some different webinars that you are offering. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your webinars, the classes that you have?
So I'm super excited. We just launched our new online Foundation to Freedom series, and we're discussing 5 different pillars. And our first course is overcoming betrayal, and one builds upon the other, because in order to be able to move forward, you have to understand or identify that you are battling with betrayal, even if it's betrayal of yourself, maybe because you haven't stood your ground as far as your beliefs and your value system,
Right.
or just overcoming betrayal of different types, like, a spouse or friendship or however. But it walks you through the steps to overcoming betrayal and how you can move forward beyond that. So that's the first course. And of course, we have others coming. But this series, the Foundation to Freedom series, is focused on how you can live or create your ideal life after whatever adversity that you've been through, be it mental, physical, mental, physical, emotional, financial, whatever, how to move forward beyond that.
Oh,
And
that's
so I'm super
wonderful.
excited. Yes.
That's wonderful. And that's going to help a lot of people, because, there's so many that are just stuck and they don't know how to get unstuck to move to the next stage of their lives or the next step in their process.
Right.
And so being able to have a course or webinar that's going to teach them step by step how to do this is going to help a lot of people. This is going to be phenomenal.
And that was actually birthed out of, I have a weekly girls' night in where we meet, every Friday night for 2 hours on Zoom.
Oh, wow.
And it's a place where women, it's a safe environment, and the goal is to give and receive love, to be seen and to be heard, and to provide an atmosphere where you can be vulnerable about where you are without judgment, without shame, without, all of that stuff that, we do. And so it was just birthed out of that. And so I'm super excited about, the people that we're going to reach and the people that are ready to heal, are ready to move forward and create the life that they've always wanted to have, but have been stuck.
Oh, that's wonderful. So how many courses are you going to have in your program?
Well, this series is a 5-part series. And so within each pillar, there's different courses underneath there. So and I can't think of them all right now. I don't have them in front of me. So, but they all build upon one another, and you can take the one that you feel is applicable to you, or you can take the entire, you
collection of them,
the entire package. And so just, building upon, and the premise is helping heal, helping one another heal, provide help, produce hope, promote healing. Because we need to heal.
Because you can't heal what you try to hide. How you say it?
Well, if you hide it, you can't heal.
That's wonderful. I'm proud of you, sis. I'm proud of you. So, you are busy, Michelle Speakz. Oh my goodness. The author, the instructor, and then now you got coaching going on. Tell us about your coaching program that you got coming up.
So we've got 2 signature coaching programs. There's the one-on-one intensive. That's a 6-month one-on-one. And it's entitled Redefine Your Life Path, and basically helping you get back on track after adversity. And there's 8 steps to that. It's a curriculum based, but it's tailored to whatever your needs are. And that's how we tackle it. And then there's our group program. It's Unmasking the Hurt. And there's 3 phases to that: unhide, harness, and heal. That's a 3-month program. And so just, a plethora of resources to help people heal, because that's honestly, we as a nation need to be healed. We really do. So that we can truly come together and be one, because we were created. It's in our DNA that we were created for connection. And honestly, we've lost that connection even prior to the pandemic. The pandemic just highlighted, how disconnected we've become. But we need to know how to reconnect with one another.
Right.
And to do that, we have to deal with the layers and the barriers that have caused us to be disconnected.
Peeling away those onion layers.
A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. No matter how your heart is grieving, if you keep on believing, the wish that you make will come true. No matter how your heart is grieving, if you keep on believing, the wish that you make will come true.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So those are some of the programs, that we have, that we offer, and some things coming up on the horizon. But my goal is to leave no gift left unturned, because when I stand before my Abba, our Abba, I want to hear, "Well done, thy good and faithful servant."
Amen.
I don't
Amen.
want to hide my
Amen.
talents under a bushel.
You're right. I'm the same way. I keep it moving, honey. I'm always doing something. Always doing something. Always walking in my purpose of what I should be doing.
But part of that too is I've learned the art of finding that balance, of finding time to rest and recover and rejuvenate,
Absolutely.
and then, continue to pour out.
Absolutely. Because you can't pour from an empty cup.
Well,
So you have to refill yourself. You have to rejuvenate. You have to
exactly.
re-energize and recharge.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Well, tell us about your upcoming events. You have any upcoming events?
Actually, I do. I do. I do. So the biggest thing that we have coming up is, I have a speaking engagement coming up out of Colorado. It's called "What is Allyship?" And so when I was trying to find my path after the military, I joined forces with this organization that helps disabled veterans. It's called No Barriers USA. And I actually went on one of their capstone expeditions, which was, I climbed at the Andes Mountain in Peru at about 18,000 feet, roped in with other disabled veterans.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh wow. How exciting.
It was exciting and it was petrifying, but their theme was, what's within you is stronger than what's in your way. And if you can climb a mountain, you can overcome any obstacle. So that was the paradigm shift.
Well,
And so,
I like to do a lot of things, but I don't think you're gonna see Dr. Jackson Dean climbing no mountains, honey.
no, not even one time. You only live once.
No, I'm
Well,
good. I like to keep my feet planted on the ground.
well, that was my paradigm shift. And so that my affiliation with them led to this opportunity. It's called Train Technologies out of Colorado, I believe. So I'll be one of their panel speakers, just talking about the importance of connection, and the importance of normalizing our differences, and with different disabilities or different views or perspectives or different lifestyles, just how to normalize and accept that. And so that's one of the projects coming up. Another one is waiting to finalize a documentary that I had the honor of being a part of. It's called From the Ashes. And honestly, it's talking about betrayal trauma. The betrayal trauma of being the spouse of someone that's addicted to porn,
Ooh,
or has experienced, because their spouse has committed adultery or infidelity, and just how, one, identifying that you have trauma, but addressing that trauma. And so I was a part of that documentary. And so that should be coming out anytime now. I'm not sure exactly when. So just, some things coming on the horizon. Another retreat coming up under my nonprofit, Healing Women, Healing Nations. The Lost Art of Connectedness retreat, which is slotted to take off to take off next year. The beginning of the year. We're gonna start the year off strong.
okay. Good, good. Busy, busy, busy. Booked and busy.
But I like that, booked and busy. But definitely
Yeah.
finding time for some R&R. I'm actually headed to Jamaica in December for some R&R as a part of a virtual fitness community that I'm a part of. And that's the key. You know, the key to healing and sustaining your healing is finding a community and being engaged so that you can stay accountable. Because without accountability and without a community, whatever progress you've made is not going to be long lasting.
That's true. That's true. You have to find your tribe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Michelle Speakz. Please tell our audience how to contact you for your services.
Well, if you want to connect with me, make sure you go to my website, www.michellespeaks.com, and subscribe so that you'll be a part of our email list. But to reach out to me personally, michellespeakswithaz@gmail.com or 904-370-3549. And reach out to me because I want to connect with you.
Well, Michelle Speakz, I want to thank you so much for being a wonderful guest and also for being the best part of Just So You Know Moment with a Twist TV talk show. We want to invite you to come back and see us, but we'll have to close for tonight. And every time we close on the Just So You Know Moment with a Twist TV talk show, we end. That's right. Go ahead and do a twist. With every close of our episodes, we always end with a princess wave. Do you know how to do a princess wave?
Is a man. I feel like my hand is out. There you go.
There you go. Doing our princess wave, saying good night to everyone or goodbye, wherever your time zone is in this hour. Thank you so much for joining us on the Just So You Know Moment with a Twist TV talk show. To learn more about Dr. LaShonda Jackson Dean and the books and the services that I offer, please visit me online at www.drlasshondajacksondean.com/shop. See you next time for the next episode of Just So You Know Moment with a Twist TV talk show. Bye-bye for now.
This is Just So You Know Moments with a Twist. Your host, Dr. Jackson Dean, the Pen Slayer. You ready? Let's go. Just so you know.